You know, I like the addiction metaphor. I like the drug addiction metaphor. It's very useful to think of it this way because we are all addicts. Hopefully, not to class A drugs, but we're all addicted to the body mind. This is the idol that we worship. This is the false idol worship. That which you give your attention to is what you worship. You know, people who are just interested in money, they just think about money. They give their attention to money. They worship money. They give their attention to money. We, if we're ignorant, in ignorance, we worship the false idol of the body mind instead of being with him in silence.
Thank you.
It's just to be still in silence. That's it. That's it. And there might be nothing happening. It's like, is this it? There's nothing happening. It's just a blank. Yes, that's it. Just trust it. Yes, as I said, like the drug addict. This is boring. How can you live like this? You know, you're not making the most of your life, they could say. You're letting your life slip by. You should make the most out of life. You should be, snorting cocaine, injecting heroin, enjoying yourself, making the most of life, Carpe diem, seize the day. But this, we see, is actually a wrong way of looking at things. So this is an analogy I'm using, of course. When we relax, we see the beauty of everyday life, that we don't need all these mind-altering drugs. We don't need them at all. In fact, they're quite distasteful. We prefer not to have them. The same thing happens with food. If we're addicted to sugar, if we're addicted to junk food, to fat, if we're addicted to fat, to fried food, to sugar, to sweeteners and artificial flavorings and things like this, when you start eating healthy food, you think, this is horrible. This is rabbit food. This is bland food. Who can eat this rubbish? You put loads of salt on the food to make it taste like something. How can you eat this food with no salt? It's rabbit food. It's terrible food. But if you give it a chance, you'll start to, over time, you say, I don't like that sugar anymore. I don't want that fatty food. I don't want that fatty food in my body, polluting my body. I don't want to add salt to my food. These are all ways we've been conditioned. We're addicted to the pleasure, to the senses. We start to enjoy the plain, simple, sattvic foods, vegetarian foods, the simple foods, for example. And nutritious food. We start to recognize, this is a really subtle but amazing flavor. This is what food's meant to taste like. It's not meant to taste like fried chicken wings with lots of salt or something. It's not meant to taste like syrupy sugar or something. It's not meant to taste like cookies and cream. It's meant to be nutritious. It's meant to be like this. It's different. We discover a deeper, more imbalanced way of living our life in the world. Similarly, we find when we go deeper, we find this entire world is an illusion. At first, this is an abhorrent teaching to hear. It can be highly offensive to hear that this entire Body, mind, world is an illusion, total projection. And then we come to the truth. We go within, we deeper. We see the beauty in this. We see the divine nature in all of this. And we go further within, further deeper. We recognize our true self as divine. So, but in the meantime, just be still. That's it. Relax. Watch the mind toss, turn, fret, try and figure something out. Keep on having faith in Bhagavan's teaching. Turn away from the objects, including the thoughts. Come back to the silence. Simple, boring silence. This simple, boring silence, just like simple, boring food, just like simple, boring, drug-free existence, will reveal herself to be glorious, to be much more than you could ever have imagined. It's the treasure you've been overlooking because you think it's nothing. You think it's worthless. It has no value. And then you realize, oh, it's the greatest thing.